Listening to the Casting for Fun podcast, the show that talks about entertainment, sports, music, and inspirational stories for all to enjoy. We're glad you could join us today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, here is your host, Albert Pineda.
This is the Casting for Fun podcast. I am your host, Albert Pineda, and this is a special Friday episode for Friday, July the 28th, 2023, episode 81 of the show. And for this week, my good friend Jenn Moyes returns to the show. It was really great to catch up with him last month. I got to go to Utah for a wedding reception. And since I was in the neighborhood, I met up with Jeremy and I got to meet his awesome wife, Jenn, for the first time. So that was really exciting and cool. And I always wanted to have Jeremy back on the podcast. If you remember, he was on last summer. But I decided, you know what, it'd be really great to have Jeremy and Jenn on at the same time because we had such a fun conversation last month when we met up for breakfast. So I decided, you know what, it'd be great to have them both on. So we talk about a variety of topics together. We talk about movies that we've been enjoying. We talk about college football, particularly BYU football, and a couple of other fun topics as well. So it's always great to catch up with friends, and it's always nice to meet the wives of my friends. So it's a fun conversation. I think you'll enjoy it. And for those listening to the show, perhaps for the first time, because you saw that Jeremy and Jenn were going to be on, thanks for listening. And to the longtime listeners, thank you for being here as well. Okay, so this is my conversation with Jeremy and Jenn Moyes. So welcome back to the show, Jeremy, and first time on the show, your lovely wife, Jenn. How are you both doing tonight?
Good evening.
Great. Well.
Good to see you both. And I feel like it hasn't been that long, right? It was just last month that I was in Utah visiting.
Was it just last month? Was that June?
Yeah, back in June.
Crazy. Yeah, it hasn't been that long. It was good to see you.
Yeah, it's always good to catch up. And I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I like doing this podcast, because it gives me a chance to, call up friends and say, hey, let's just get together and shoot the breeze on whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah, I like it.
And we don't even have to travel anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So Jenn, in case you're not familiar, because I mean, Jeremy, you were on last summer. Basically, I don't really have like a set topic for my particular podcast, because I just kind of cover everything, like anything at all that I want to talk about. So it's almost going to kind of be similar to like our conversation that we had for breakfast when we met up last month, except the difference is we're recording it. So anybody who wants to listen to us just banter, feel free.
All right.
Sounds good.
So I do have a few particular talking points that I wanted to go over with you guys, but really it's an open conversation. So anything at all that you guys wanted to discuss, and for however long you want to do it as well, it's fine.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm in all my pink. I just got back from the Barbie movie, so enjoy.
Oh, okay. Very good. Let's go ahead and jump into that then, just because you happen to bring it up. Did you happen to enjoy it?
I did. I loved playing with Barbies as a child. And, it's a lot of it's tongue in cheek, right?
Yeah.
And I think some people that didn't like it maybe were taking it too seriously. And there were also some themes that were going to be in there, of course, that were not unexpected, just in our culture. It's for fun. It's not super serious. They did, like I said, there's a lot of themes. So it's almost like they went off the rails a little bit and had too many than focusing in on just a few. But I thought that it was a lot of fun. I thought that I thought he was hilarious. All the Kens were pretty funny. And Alan, who could have forgotten about Alan, Ken's best friend? So played by Michael Cera. So
I did not know Ken had a best friend. So
yes, Alan.
This is news to me.
Alan is Ken's friend and fits all of Ken's clothes. So don't know why they were sharing clothes, but
okay. So he's the male version of Skipper, is that right? Or
I don't know. He's like his best friend. He's Ken's best friend, and that's all I know because I never had an Alan doll.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, okay. Oh, very cool.
much to my chagrin.
For the record, I did not either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hope not.
Right.
No judgment if you did, but
No judgment. I just was putting that out there. I
Yeah.
did not know Alan existed till now. And I feel like a
I
major
didn't
part of the
either.
movie has been ruined for me now.
oh.
No surprise.
Yeah. The big reveal, Alan.
Oh, okay. Well, it's interesting that you enjoyed it so much because actually my wife, she went with her mom, so my mother-in-law and my sisters-in-laws and her sister. So it was a whole like family affair. So 6 of them went, 6 women, and half of them hated it and half of them really loved it. So it's I don't know, it's just there's various opinions about it, but it is nice that it's doing good box office numbers because the box office has been kind of struggling the past couple of weeks.
I just think whether you go in like with the intent of taking it seriously or not. And I went in thinking it was all just, just for fun, just all mirth,
Oh, okay. Very cool. And did you do the double feature? Did you go see Oppenheimer as well, or was it just Barbie?
No,
Barbenheimer?
no, I had children with me, so no.
Okay, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Have you seen Oppenheimer yet?
No, I haven't seen either one yet. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to generally talk about, movies that we've enjoyed this past summer, because the summer is the perfect time for movies. The most recent thing I saw was The Flash, and I talked about that extensively in another episode with my friends. For The Flash, I thought was decent, but it was just so surprising to me that it's done so poorly in the box office. So
Me too. We saw it opening, I think it was opening day. Randomly, we weren't planning on, but our friends just asked us to go, so we went. And I am not a big fan of DC movies, actually.
Mhm.
There's none that I really like that much, at least this new DC universe. But I loved it. I laughed through the whole thing. I thought it was, I really like Michael Keaton.
We went in with only that expectation, so maybe that's the difference. But whether you like the actors in it or not, it is well acted.
Oh yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was another one. Like, my expectations were extremely low, but I felt thoroughly entertained through the whole thing.
That's how we live our lives. Low expectations, and then we're always happy enough.
I think that might be a good way to live life.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but
Maybe.
there we go.
Why do you think I married Jeremy?
I feel like maybe wow. True. That means that I've exceeded expectations then.
Yet to be seen.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
About the Flash?
Oh, I just think that it was probably because I think that actor was Ezra
Miller. Yeah.
Miller, right? He's got so much controversy around him right now that maybe that's it. I couldn't figure out why it did so poorly.
There's that, and then I mean, so you mentioned that not necessarily being a big fan of like the DC movies, but I don't know if you've heard that they're actually going to be rebooting everything. Yeah. So basically, it's going to be a new Superman movie in a couple of years. They're recasting Henry Cavill. A lot of people hated that they're getting rid of him. So I guess fans may not be necessarily as invested, knowing that hey, these next few movies that are coming out aren't really going to matter anymore. So I don't know.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
that's gotta be hard for the actors in those to just be cast off.
Yeah,
that's right. We're all on strike right now, anyway. So.
Yeah, that's true. And how about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny? Did you get a chance to see that one?
I've not seen it, but are looking forward to it. Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it myself, but again, that's another one that's just been struggling in the box office. So
I think it's because the crystal skull, the one we don't acknowledge.
Yeah.
People are gun shy. All right, that's the issue.
I want to see Mission Impossible. I haven't seen that one yet. I think the last two movies we saw, other than The Flash, was Fast 10.
Yes.
Which also, we're not Fast and Furious like fans. We just went to it for someone's birthday. And I was also thoroughly entertained by the Fast 10.
It's totally implausible, but that's what makes it fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, we're all gunning to see the impossible happen, right? So
we just laughed
one of the good guys to win.
And then Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved all the Guardians movies. I thought they were all fantastic.
They're my favorite in that
Except
Marvel
the
universe.
resolution between Gamora and Peter, that was a little bit like, oh, we thought there'd be something resolved there.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about that part.
Yeah.
Then what other? Did we see any other movies?
Maybe. Did we watch any on TV? Anyway, name some others then.
Oh, so I mean, obviously you guys have kids, some of them older, some of them younger. I don't know if you got a chance to go see the new animated Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Okay, I was thoroughly like just entertained. The story was so engaging. The animation looked really great. So I absolutely love that movie. That
was super cool. I really like that.
I love the seamless melding of animation styles from different regions, countries, just different styles just purely from an artistic aspect. It was incredible, to see how they were able to just weave it together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. And a cool story. Like they did a really good job. I didn't expect to like either of those. And because I thought the first one was really good too. But I may have liked the second one. And who doesn't love Peter B?
Oh, yeah,
right?
We can relate because of our age, right? I mean, we have a baby now with kids. Yeah, we can relate to him.
Yeah, he just cracked me up. So that was good.
Oh, good. Very good. So one more that I would throw out there that I know is, low budget, but I mean, it's just got a lot of buzz. A lot of people really talking about it would be the Sound of Freedom.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that at all. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen it yet.
What was that one about?
That's the one of the child trafficking where the Jim Caviezel's like the federal agent, or I forget what agency he works for, who's stopping it.
He works for the
I saw one.
Operation Underground. Or Underground.
Thank you. Yeah.
Operation Underground Railroad.
But I think that's an important issue for today because it's like the unspoken. It's one of the big unspoken problems going around right now around the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be interesting. So I hear it's a hard movie, obviously, because it's a hard subject.
Yeah.
But it's kind of been cool to see it competing right up there with Mission Impossible and beating out Indiana Jones. So.
Oh yeah. I've heard nothing but good things from those who have seen it. But so yeah, it's definitely one that I want to see. But I think my wife and I might wait till it's available for home viewing for streaming, because that way, if we need to, it's getting too intense, we need to stop it. We can do that.
Yeah, you don't want to be like trapped in a theater bawling. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's a rough thing. We have somebody in our ward here. Is he's and I haven't been able to talk to him yet, but he was pretty heavily involved in Operation Underground Railroad.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm sure he probably knows the guy that Jim Caviezel is playing. So
he worked on the training programs that you can actually go online and they'll run you through a quick training program on how to spot possible trafficking situations and who to call. So it's a great resource, especially if you travel a lot and are on a lot of planes, to be able to spot, potential problems and help out.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah. And you guys do travel quite a bit, right?
Yeah, off and on. Yep.
Yeah. Luckily we haven't run into anything like that though.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Okay, so I do want to actually touch on one other movie. I completely forgot to ask you about this when I got to see you in person. So this is going back actually to last summer. It's the summer of 2022. So when Jeremy and I were in the MTC, the Missionary Training Center in Provo, Utah, with our group of friends, we talked about this before, I think, but I don't know if it was you or maybe it was Joe or maybe it was Terry. Someone instigated the singing the Righteous Brothers song, so imitating the Top Gun. Yeah, You've Lost That Loving Feeling. And it was just
what's his name?
Unchained Melody.
He went down to Interlagos with you guys.
Was it was it Shane?
Shane, yeah. Wait, name them all again.
Oh, Shane, Troy, Jared, Mike, and myself.
So it must have been Shane. Yeah.
I'm thinking it was probably Shane.
He did it on a recording for his girlfriend or something.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. That's right. So for those who don't know, I mean, I'm sure if you've seen Top Gun, you're familiar with the scene. So we, as just a bunch of friends, like we reenacted the scene where I think Shane played the Maverick role. Jeremy, I think you were the Goose role. And it was just really funny how we're just mimicking that scene. So anyways, I wanted to bring up Top Gun Mavericks. I was assuming that you were such a big fan of the original movie. And I'm assuming from last summer, you did get to see Top Gun Maverick.
There were two people I wanted to be when I was young, and one was Jack Ryan, and the other was Maverick.
Oh.
And so when
they want to be a fighter pilot when they're a kid.
Oh man, I wanted so badly. And so yeah, when Maverick came out, I saw it twice in the theaters, and both times I was as giddy as a schoolboy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god,
you were a schoolboy.
I loved it. It was amazing. It was one of the best movie experiences I've had in forever. From opening scene right to the very end. It was so good.
They did the nostalgia without it being, hokey or pushing it hard. And I think that was nice. And you know what? It ended. They had like 4 endings, but we were just thirsty for more. So we were on board with it. Like, oh, there's another ending. Yes.
I also own it, and I've watched it like 2 or 3 times since.
Oh.
In my rainy day movies now.
Awesome. So I haven't heard if they were going to do yet another sequel, but I mean, again, with the concept of like, introducing new characters, giving them a chance to spin off, would you be interested in seeing something like Top Gun Rooster, where I guess Miles Teller, the actor who played Goose's son, like potentially takes over and it's something based on him?
So
maybe
if they kept it, okay, here's the example. Like the old James Bonds were kind of like playful and had the jokes and had, the running jokes, things like that. If they made it heavier and grittier, then I think it would just take away from the spirit of the original too much. So if they could keep up with that, kind of that lighthearted energy, then yeah, sure. But if they just take it like dark and heavy.
I was pretty skeptical about this one when they were making it, and they, hit it out of the park, but I don't know. I'd have a hard time.
Sequels are tough, it can go, it's either really great or really horrible. There's hardly any middle space.
Although I did watch all the Iron Eagles.
Oh, very cool.
Do you remember Iron Eagles?
I do remember Iron Eagle. Yeah.
I showed Jen the first one years ago, but I was like, oh, this isn't as good as I remember. I watched every one of those. Those are my favorites too. So I don't know. We'd see. I mean, I'd give it a chance. I mean, it made $1 billion, so, so they're probably trying to plan some sort of sequel to it or spin-off.
Way to ride that wave in.
Yeah, in fact, I think since the pandemic's been over, I think just a handful of movies have been able to do that. So the Spider-Man No Way Home, the most recent Avatar, then Top Gun Maverick, and I think the last one was the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed as well too. Super Mario Brothers movie, that was really fun.
That was fun.
So,
yeah.
Tom Cruise is kind of gold at the movies right now, isn't he?
You would think so, but then somehow Mission Impossible isn't doing so good either. So I don't know.
It's because everyone's at Barbie.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen Barbie, then they'll go to the other movies.
Oh, okay.
Impossible's doing okay though, isn't it?
I think okay. I don't think it's doing as bad as The Flash or Indiana Jones, but not as well as I think Hollywood initially expected
to be. Yeah.
So what do you think? Like we're riding a nostalgia train right now, right? A lot of movies are from popular movies when we were kids. So what's the formula to get them to be really great? Like Maverick, and then why do others like Indiana Jones not, fare as well, even though it's all that kind of same era?
I actually think go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Oh, I think people are tired of going over the same stuff over and over again. Like Maverick was new, in the sense that I was kind of new and old, so that's an exception. But I think overall, people are getting tired of comic books coming. I mean, it's just comic after comic after comic remake, or they're remaking old movies that were perfectly fine and didn't need to be remade. There's no creativity. There's no new good stories out there right now.
What do you think though on that?
Well, to answer your question, Jen, about the formula for like these type of movies, I guess that Hollywood's kind of coined the phrase like legacy sequel, where it's, the story like 20, 25, 30 years later after, and then you get as many of the original cast members back. I think if you treat the characters in a good way to honor them, and at the same time create the brand new characters who you potentially see as maybe carrying on the story to make sure that they're likable, because sometimes they're not always likable. and then you're only watching it because, okay, I really like the characters that I grew up with and love, but this new cast, I don't really care for them. So I think that would be the key. Like, say, yes, okay, Top Gun Maverick, we love Maverick, but would we love Rooster if he were to carry his own movie? For the most part, I think he did well. If Hollywood were to decide to do a movie with Rooster, I think it could do well. We talked about it also when we were together for breakfast last month. I really love the Cobra Kai show, which is basically a continuation of the Karate Kid, where they're introducing us to Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence's kids and all the other high school kids. And I think that group of kids, they're actually just as likable as the original cast, in my opinion. And I think that show has actually been successful because it's done a good job of integrating the two together. So, but like you said, Jeremy, it's weird. I mean, I don't know if Indiana Jones really resonates with the newer kids today, even though the ride's still popular at Disneyland. So I don't know. It's a bit baffling to me that Indiana Jones isn't doing as well.
Well, it's hard to see Indiana Jones 85 years old too, or however old he is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point you're like, it might be time to hang the whip up. But I don't know. It could be a good movie.
Never time to hang the whip up.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
That's got to be really difficult to make all of, well, the vintage movie people happy, I guess we call ourselves now, and then have enough hooks for the next generation of people.
Yeah.
It's weird. And I think people are leery too, because even the new, I don't know how you felt about them, but I didn't think the new Star Wars didn't really hit, And so I just think there's all these really good classic movies that everybody knows Hollywood's just trying to make cash grabs on right now.
Yeah, you get that
and you're
feeling,
worried that
don't you?
it almost ruins the originals,
You feel like you're being conned, Maybe that's part of the problem. I'm hopeful for the next Star Trek because I really like that cast.
I like the Kelvin.
I've been like, hey, come on, when is the next one gonna come out? Yay, So
I do like what they did with that new Star Trek. So.
Oh yeah. I think I would agree with you with your assessment of the newer Star Wars movies. I mean, the sequel trilogy wasn't quite up to par in my opinion. Rogue One I did enjoy, but I
actually think Rogue One is number one in my Star Wars movies.
Oh really? Oh cool.
Yeah, it is so good, and I know that's like weird because I grew up with the originals, but it's like Rogue One, and then Return of the Jedi, and then New Hope. And I know I'm weird for putting Empire Strikes Back third in my favorites there, but in those new ones. But Rogue One is brilliant. I do like Rogue One, and I actually like Solo too. I thought that was entertaining.
Yeah.
But the main what do they call them? Sequels, I guess is
the
what
sequel
they were.
Trilogy. Yeah,
the sequel trilogy. I thought they took the old movies and just redid them. That's all they did. Like there was nothing new to them. You felt like you're watching the same story over and over again. So I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, you're right. And as you mentioned before, there has been the problem where there's not as much creativity or originality with certain projects, but certain projects there are. So I mean, I think Hollywood does have the ability to make something really good and compelling, such as Across the Spider-Verse or something even really simple and basic like the Super Mario Brothers movie. And it's so funny to me that I'm picking like two animated movies as being like top notch, like one of the best ones. But
yeah, they did it though.
The imagination and the continuation of comic book stories. I think you've got different writers coming in all the time. So sure, they are reimagined, and I think that keeps it current.
Yeah,
and that new Spider-Man too, Across the Universe, like they've done it so differently than any other cartoon you've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
So creative.
It's just visually stunning. Yeah. Especially if you're into art and can kind of pick out the different art styles and things like that. I think that's fun. It's multi-layered.
Awesome. Very good. So did you guys have anything more with movies you wanted to discuss? There was a few other topics I wanted to go over with you.
Just real quick, while I'm at the Barbie movie, there's a ton of previews, but the one I'm just like cringing over is the new Willy Wonka.
Oh,
and
okay.
So they're trying to show the pre-story because that's what we do now. If we can't further the story, they haven't done the Great Glass Elevator, have they? Anyway, we're gonna show Willy Wonka as he meets the Oompa Loompas and comes into being, but I don't know, it's iffy. It's really iffy.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you. I haven't seen the trailer myself, but when I heard that we're gonna do yet another one, it just kind of
it's like a Southern accent, and like they've got some big actors for it, but I'm really skeptical, right? Cautiously optimistic, but super skeptical.
Gene Wilder is one of my favorite actors of all time too. He's like just amazing.
You can do it all.
So it was like not even Johnny Depp could replace Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. So that's hard. Those are some big shoes to step into.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Cautiously optimistic. I'd say it's maybe the best way of putting it.
Yeah,
sure. But
yeah. So at this time of year, I mean, it's kind of like the dog days of summer. So I mean, movies. There's a handful in the theater still, but it's really, I think people are just kind of looking forward to the fall season beginning and the return of college football. And I know Jeremy's a big BYU fan. Jen, I wasn't sure if you were as well, or
how do I put it? I'm like an indentured servant to college football because I've watched a lot. I've been to a lot. I'm learning as I go. Like I can point things out, false start. I can get it, but it's not a passion for me.
Oh, okay.
I am about 1,000 times more passionate about it.
I mean, my dad is really big into BYU football, and he still is. So I got earfuls as a kid, but
we do go to
it didn't stick.
I think it's fun for the family.
I feel the patriotism, all right. Like I get that, feel the energy. And as I start to understand the game more, it's a little more interesting. But no, to make a short question long,
we do go to all the football games. Though we have season tickets, so I think it's fun for the family to go. And
yeah.
Yes, all us girls love to go all the time.
Oh, very good. So again, this is the first season of their conference in the Big 12, right? So that should be pretty exciting. September 2nd is their first game against the Bearcats of Sam Houston State. Who is Sam Houston State?
Or Bearcats?
Bearcats. I'm sorry, Bearcats. I'm sorry. Did I say Bearcats?
What?
So kind of funny. We play two teams that have Bearcats as their mascot this year. So
okay,
you would know that. But
yeah, I'd never heard of this school before, but again, I'm not really the biggest fan when it comes to college football. So
they're a very small. I can't remember if they're an FCS, so like a lower level team, or if they're just a really bad FBS team. But that should be just a cakewalk. If it's not, we're in trouble. So.
Oh, very good. And then in the news, I mean, I don't know if you've heard about it. Colorado finalizing the move out of the Pac-12 to the Big 12. So what does that really mean for college football?
Well, I think college football is on a really dangerous path right now. And this move is really either weakening or destroying the Pac-12. And which isn't overall, like, it's like on the rivalry side between like BYU and Utah, there's part of you is like, yeah, ha ha ha. But it's not good. It's not good for college football to be losing another Power 5 conference because it's putting all the money into the Big Ten and all the money into the SEC so they can go do whatever they want. And it makes it very difficult for fringe teams. Like,
so you're saying they're monopolizing the
100%
sport.
And the NIL, which is the the ability that players have to be able to get paid now, is also bringing just so much professionalism, I guess, into the sport that's the whole reason why people watch college football is because it's not professional. It's untainted. It's regional rivalries, right? Which this whole conference realignment stuff ruins regional rivalries, which is sad. I mean, that's what people
been around
like forever.
For ages.
Now, on the flip side, it's good for the Big 12 for BYU, right? Because we're strengthening our conference. So that's great. And that's exciting. And I have been excited on that aspect, but yeah, I do hate to see all these. I think that's the biggest thing, like regional rivalries, and then taking the amateurism out of college football. That's the sad side of it.
It takes the purity out of like playing to be your best and playing for the glory of your team, and not maybe as it. Yeah,
maybe
it's more about money and more like.
On the upside, it's a little poke in the eye to Utah. So that's fun.
Fun for BYU.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
They've been poking us in the eye for 12 years. So.
Yeah.
Man. Payback. So
that's nice.
Very good. Very good. Well, it's really exciting that you guys have the season tickets. So, I mean, do you know how many games you're going to go to this coming fall?
Hopefully 6, all of them.
Really? Oh, cool.
The girls will go until it gets cold.
If it's too hot or too cold, we're like, no, take some friends.
And then I just start inviting my dad and friends and stuff like that. So, but it's good. Yeah, it'll be a really good, really good schedule. It's been a long time since we've had good teams on the schedule in the latter half of the season. So that's going to be nice. But we're going to get kicked around a little bit. So if we can win 6 games this year, that'll be awesome. So because we're moving into a Power 5, it's going to be a little more difficult for us. Sure, so.
Well, joining the bigger conference does give BYU more national coverage, right? So there's going to be more games on TV. So it'll be really cool to catch.
Well, actually, the cool thing about the independence that we've had over the last 12 years is that it really did give us a ton of exposure, because we were one of the first teams. I think we might have been the first team to ever sign an exclusive contract with ESPN.
Oh, really?
And,
cool.
Most of our games were on ESPN, ABC. There's a couple that were on ABC each year, and then any game that ESPN didn't broadcast, BYU TV was able to broadcast. So the coverage was actually decent, was good.
Yeah.
But now we have the clout to go with it, and we have a reason to keep playing if we lose a game, early on or something. So, because before, if we lost a game, 1 or 2 games, we knew exactly what bowl we were going to. There was going to be a podunk bowl somewhere that didn't have a lot of meaning, and so there's a little bit of the team having a tough time to keep their excitement going, their morale up. Now, even if we lose all 3 games at the beginning of the year out of conference, we still have a conference championship to chase. So that'll be cool. That'll be fun.
Gives everybody hope.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to say, changing sports though, you got to be excited about Messi coming over to the MLS.
Oh yeah, very, very excited. Unfortunately, the LA Galaxy, my team, hasn't been performing very well, but just the exposure that he's bringing has been really cool. And these games that he's played in have been pretty exciting as well. So yeah, I guess that's the cool thing, is that sports never really ends. There's always something going on. Baseball, a lot of baseball news as well, particularly with Ohtani deciding to stay with the Angels for now. So,
I didn't see that. Did he?
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
I was hoping he'd come up with the Mariners.
They could use some help, right?
We could use all the help in the world.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing. But even though I know at this time of year, during like the really hot days of summer, it just kind of just seems, can fall just come already? But it's nice and cool that there's so many cool things to look forward to, entertainment, whether it's sports or movies, anything like that. So it's just a cool time of year.
Yeah, it is. I applaud you're seeing the good side of it, because I get to this time of the year and I'm like, baseball we're kind of in the dog days of baseball. So It doesn't get exciting until September, when people are chasing the playoff spots, August, September. There's no basketball going on. There's no NFL. And I'm not a soccer guy, right? Except I do know that RSL is doing really well right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bring on the football. Come on. College football coming around.
Yeah, I know. So this time of year, I guess it can be a little kind of just like the dog days as you put it, but at the same time, I mean, it's my birthday month, and then we also have family vacations planned, which kind of seems to be like the best time in August to kind of do
Happy
things right
birthday.
before
You
school
just had
starts.
it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Right in there. Just like you just slid
Slid
that
in
right
there.
in, thinking we wouldn't notice it was your birthday month.
Oh. Yeah. Funny thing too. So I don't know if Jeremy ever told you this, but in the MTC they had the tradition of just like singing "Happy Birthday" to random missionaries and just getting other random missionaries to join in, and it was really really funny. But yeah, my birthday is not in December. My birthday's in August.
I understood. Maybe you accidentally got a few right.
Oh. But yeah. So family vacations planned right before school starts for my daughter. So that's gonna be it's gonna be a fun couple of weeks leading up to the beginning of fall.
Cool.
Nice.
Where are you
Bridging
going?
with the vacation.
Where are you going?
Going to Santa Barbara for a camping trip.
I love Santa Barbara.
Yeah, that should be really cool. And then I think right before my daughter goes back to school, like to a resort in Palm Springs.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Nice.
just to kind of enjoy some pool time while it's while we still can.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which resort are you going to?
I don't know off the top of my head. My wife's been planning this trip for a while with some of our other friends from our ward here. So we'll be meeting up with a bunch of friends. So that'll be nice. And yeah, we'll be there for several days, and it should be really fun.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Palm Springs is a place we haven't been to yet. I know World Mark has a resort there, so I need to go down and try it. So
We should.
Oh, did you ask me which resort I'm going to? I thought you'd ask about the campsite.
No, the resort.
Oh, okay. We're going to the Omni.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
it should be nice.
Yeah. I have heard of the Omni Resort.
I've heard they're nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be fun. Should be a really good trip.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, good.
Most
Okay.
definitely.
So to close out, then, did you guys have anything planned as well? I mean, I know you're big on the national parks, right? And now some of them have recently reopened.
So here's the deal with that. Jeremy, for some reason, heat does not bother him.
Mhm.
It's like 108, 112. He's fine. Heat does not bother them. So we have been places so hot, no one else is there. Like when we were in Jordan, in Petra, there were like 10 other tourists there and us because it was so hot. Granted, we could go everywhere we wanted. But so Jeremy, we went to
Moab.
we went down to Moab and we did Goblin Valley and Dead Horse Point. It was 108, and there are like 4 other people there.
Canyonlands and Mesa Verde as well.
And
we
Mesa
spent
Verde.
a day
A few
on
more
the,
people in Mesa Verde. Yeah.
Yeah. We did spend a day on the river though. We did went
Yep.
down the Colorado River, and that was
Oh, fun. Very cool.
yeah.
So yes, we go, and it's so hot, so hot. But we have the place to ourselves.
And
pretty
it's
much.
normally unplanned too. We get to a
Mhm.
spot, we're like, what do we want to do? And I'll look something up and I'm like, well, this is only 3 hours away. Let's go there. Really, as long as it's within a 3-hour radius, fair
We
game.
just go.
We'll
We
try
plan
it.
some things and we leave time. Have you ever watched the show Speechless?
Speechless, I have not. No.
If you
Oh, you
haven't, you
should.
really
It's really
should. Their family, they do like an unplanned road trip, and they just, based on a song that's playing or a sign they see, like go left, they'll just go, or anything like that. So we plan some things, and then we're like, we see a billboard, and we're like, oh, let's go there.
Yeah, let's go there.
So yeah,
But we'll go in Vegas in November, October. October, we're going to go down to Vegas to see the When We Were Young concert. Is it When We Were Young?
When We Were Young show with Blink and Green Day and NoFX and Less Than Jake Woo and a bunch of others, MXPX and a bunch of other bands.
Yeah, I think there's like 30 bands
from
that'll
our
be playing
youth.
there. So
Oh, very cool. That should be a lot of fun. I heard of that show. So that should be really, really cool.
Yeah.
that'll be fun. We're taking the 2 oldest kids down.
Yep.
Mhm.
We had to be stalkers online for tickets. So, but our daughter, she loves Green Day so much, and she was. They show what percentage you are on Spotify of
Like how much
of
each
listener,
band you
like of
listen
each
to?
band, like what percentage you are of how much you listened to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
0.005 just herself of all the listeners of Green Day on Spotify that exist.
Oh, wow.
Needless to say, huge fans. So yeah, we're really excited. Gonna go mosh it up.
Yes, that sounds really, really cool. Lots of bands that I enjoy as well. So
Yep.
I don't know if I can convince my wife to go. Maybe, but we have some other stuff planned for later in the year too. So
Yeah, we didn't go to Taylor Swift like everyone else. We're a punk rock show.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's actually kind of a sore subject with my wife. I mean, to this day, I think she still hates Ticketmaster. But
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that hate Ticketmaster. So.
But very cool. Very cool. Well, great. This has been really great and fun. We kind of went over all the talking points that I had for tonight. Was there anything else you wanted to bring up or discuss before we wrap up?
What'd you do for your birthday, man?
Oh, no, my birthday's next month in August.
Oh, I thought you said this was your birthday.
No, coming up. Yeah. So in a week from Saturday, will be my birthday.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. The plans. So I want to make a trip out to Hollywood. I mean, it's kind of funny that we live here in the LA area, but we very rarely actually go to Hollywood. But there's a few specific sites and things that I wanted to try out. Like there's a specific Star Wars themed like bar, like restaurant called the Scum and Villainy Cantina.
Oh,
yeah,
seriously?
I really want to go try that. Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be kind of like a replica of the Mos Eisley Cantina from the first movie.
Oh, very cool.
Sure.
Yeah, and then a couple other a famous record store, Amoeba, that's right by the Pantages Theater. I wanted to go shopping there, buy some records, and maybe a few other spots too. We'll see, but it'll be nice just to kind of like enjoy adult time with no kids.
Yep. I hear you on that. Well, I hope you have a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you.
Buy something awesome, and yeah.
Have some yak, or I was going to say yak milk, but
what are those called? The blue milk. Yeah. Whatever.
Have some blue milk.
Yeah. Actually, we just were at Disneyland yesterday. Actually, I've tried it before. The blue milk, it's pretty good. We
tried the blue and the green, right? And it's hard to pinpoint what those flavors are.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know what they were, you'd be like, I don't know. Is this plastic? Is this? I don't know.
But it was icy and cold, and it was really hot, so it's like perfect time to drink it. So
yeah.
Very fun.
All right. Well, you have a great birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. And Jeremy, Jen, thank you so much for giving me your time, just talking about things that we love. And anyone listening, I hope you've enjoyed this banter that we've had. I mean, this is what I love doing for a podcast. I think it's just really fun, and just record these conversations we have, and so we always have them for entertainment.
All right. Next time we'll pick on Jeremy some more.
Okay, I definitely would love to hear some more stories about that. I mean, he told me his proposal story, which I think is really fun and really. Okay, well, Jeremy, Jen,
there are lots of Jeremy stories.
There's lots of unprepared. Jeremy being unprepared for important things. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me tonight.
Do you have anything planned August 15th? And I was just like, because that's our anniversary.
Yeah.
Like, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, lots of stories.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Well, then happy pre-anniversary to you guys as well.
Oh, thanks.
Very cool. Okay, so you've been enjoying the listening to the Casting for Fun podcast. Thank you, everybody.